Hey, it's Adrian, and today I have a pretty cool portable TV. This is the Sylvox 15.6-inch Google TV, which is also waterproof. It has an impressive IP66 waterproof rating, up to 6 hours of battery life thanks to the 10,000 milliamp hour battery. There's adjustable viewing angles thanks to the built-in kickstand, 1080p video with HDR support, 178-degree viewing angle. There's Google OS giving you access to popular apps like Netflix, YouTube, Prime, Bluetooth 5.0, dual band Wi-Fi, dual speakers, voice control, and a handy remote to control everything. So let's take a closer look at how well it performs, and a big thanks to Sylvox for sending this out for review. In the box, we have the Sylvox 15.6-inch Google TV warranty certificate manual, a power brick to charge the internal battery or just to keep it, permanently powered, a remote control, 2 AAA batteries, and screwdriver. Taking a look at the design on the Sylvox Google TV, so this comes in at around 15.6 inches diagonally. Now we have the Sylvox logo at the front there along with touch controls or touch buttons, and you can see if I angle this is completely flush, so there's no tactile buttons. Now we do have a built-in stand right here, and this is actually pretty rigid of a stand, so you can see the TV is not kind of angling forwards or backwards, so it's doing a really good job. Now looking at the very rear, we have 2 speakers, so rear firing speakers, 3 watts each. And then on the side, this is where we have the input. So we have a DC input. We also have the RF input here, and this is to plug in, your standard TV cable. And then we have a USB Type A port, and this is what we'll use to just plug in a local USB drive so we can look at videos, say you go somewhere remote without internet. While there is a power button at the front of the TV, the top has the main power. So this is to prevent you from just, accidentally touching the power button at the top. And this is a button, a tactile button. You can see it depresses in, and then there's an LED ring light to let you know that it's actually activated and on. And then once this is on, then you can go ahead, you can see that red LED light on the front here. Now it's possible to go ahead and power the TV on and watch whatever you want to watch. Overall, the TV feels really well built and sturdy. There's no flexing or creaking, and this does have an IP66 rating, which is why everything is nicely sealed up along the ports. The screen is a tempered glass screen, so it should be somewhat resistant to minor scratches and wear. Here's a quick look at the specs. Feel free to pause or jump ahead to the next section. Angulating the TV is really simple thanks to the built-in kickstand. So right now it's pretty much straight up, and if we take a side view here, you can see that's what it looks like. Now this arm here, this kickstand arm, is so well frictioned that even if I kind of drop it back like so, and I'm pressing on it, you can see it's really not going anywhere. It's not collapsing and just falling flat. It's really well tensioned on here. So you can see I have to really press kind of hard to get it to even move out of place. But yeah, adjusting this on the fly is really easy. You just put the TV wherever you want and then slide that kickstand down and you have it ready to go. Before I set the TV up for first time use, I'm going to install the AAA batteries into the remote, and that's why we have the screwdriver, because we actually have to remove these screws to get access, and that's just to maintain that IP66 rating. I'm now going to set up the TV for first time use, so I'm going to press the power button, which I showed earlier, and once that's pressed in fully, I'll see the red LED light, so I'll just long press on the power button to just have the TV boot up. Now, one thing to note with this TV is since it is a Google TV, it is running on Android, you are going to need a Google account to get, all functionality or features out of this, especially if you want to use or download new apps. However, you can use the TV in a basic mode or kind of a dumb mode if you don't want to create a Google account. But, I highly recommend just creating the Google account to get full functionality. So it's now asking to press back and home on the remote for 3 seconds to enter pairing mode. So I'll go ahead and do that right now. And I can see the red LED flashing, so I'll go ahead, hit back, and let's see if it pairs right now. Okay, so pairing is successful. Press OK. And now we could go through the menu. So here are the available languages, basically the same as you would find on your Android phone. Go into English, and here is what I was talking about. So you can set it up for basic TV, so you'll have access to live TV and external devices. Now there is no HDMI input on here. So I'm just gonna go into setup Google TV since I want the most functionality, and then we're gonna have, movies, TV shows, and you'll be able to download a bunch of different apps. I have the Google Home app open and it's already found the Google TV device, so I'll go ahead, click next, and I'll give it camera permission. So let's go ahead, scan code, and I'm gonna scan the code right on here. There we go. Now note that it says you can't set this up on the TV directly. It may take a bit longer since you're using the remote to type in your credentials. So you have two options. I'm just going to go ahead and do it with my phone since it's a little bit quicker. Let's take a look at the full settings. So under channel and inputs, I want to point out that even though under external inputs it shows HDMI CEC settings, there's no way for me to connect an HDMI cable on here. Natively, there are USB Type A to HDMI adapters, but a lot of those require drivers. And they do say it's not going to be compatible with Android only Windows, so something to be mindful of. Now you'll probably spend a lot of time in picture. If we go into there, this is where you can switch to the different modes. So Vivid, Sports, Game, Personal, and then you could go to Gentle, Eco, Movie, Dynamic, Standard. So for example, in Eco, it's really going to dim things to just kind of preserve battery life. That's a movie mode. I generally like Vivid, so I'm going to leave it there. And then we could go into wide color gamut mode. You can turn that on, leave it on standard or just auto. And then under screen brightness, it's set to the maximum. So this is what it looks like, let's say at around 50%, and then all the way down to say 20%. And then at zero brightness. So you could still see a little bit, if you're looking at this, at night, then you'll definitely want to lower that. But for the most part, I'll leave it on the maximum brightness, and I'll show you what it looks like if you were to use these outdoors as well. Under advanced settings, we can change the color temperature from standard, warmer, warm, cool, or cooler, and that's it on cooler. I'm just going to leave it on standard for now. And then we can also enable dynamic contrast, and you can see the difference that makes. Now we can also turn the noise reduction off, set it to low, medium, high, or auto. I'll just leave it on medium. And then you could reset all of the picture settings. Under display and sound, I showed the picture options. Under screen, it's set to 16:9. You can't adjust the aspect ratio outside of 16:9. And then under sound mode, we can go from standard, cinema, music, news, personal. I'll just leave it on standard for now. And then we could turn on Dolby audio processing. We can go into surround mode, and then we can go into sound only. And it says the TV screen is going to turn off after 10 seconds. That's great if you want to play, the sound of rain falling or waves crashing while you're sleeping, and have the screen off so it doesn't actually bother your sleep. And this is what you have under advanced settings. Now let's go back into settings here. I am happy to say that this connects to both 2.4 and 5 gigahertz networks. I'm connected to my 5 gigahertz network right now. Now under privacy, you can take a look at that. All fairly standard Android, kind of settings if you've used any Android device. You can also go ahead, change the language on here, date and time, etc. Under remote and accessories, this is where you can go to pair Bluetooth accessories. And I've paired my external Bluetooth speaker, which worked flawlessly while watching videos or movies. The sound is just better and louder. Here's a demo of the UI. So if I click the home button here, that's about how fast it is. If I click the gear icon here, settings, you can see it's fairly responsive. Now, if I go into a specific app, so YouTube, for example, it's going to load up pretty quickly. And the reason for that is because I've already opened up the YouTube app, so it's cached. If I go into Prime Video, again, you could see everything is fairly quick. Now, if I click into an actual video here, I'll go to resume. And let's see how long it takes to load that up. Again, I'm connected to a 5 gigahertz connection.
Band to own their own brain scans. Just give me one second.
And you can see HDR kicked in there. So yeah, it's a little bit of a delay, but nothing, unmanageable. These are the apps that were preloaded. So we have Netflix, YouTube, Prime Video, Disney Plus, Crave, Paramount, Apple TV, Discovery, Live TV, YouTube Music, Media Player, and CBC Gem. Now, if I go into Add Apps here, this is where you can go by section. So you say entertainment, and then you could download things like Tubi, Pluto TV, etc. So yeah, you're not limited to whatever's preloaded on here. you also have access to basically any other type of app that you would normally find on, you know, the Android store or the Play Store. And you do have access to quick buttons like Netflix, YouTube, Disney Plus, and Amazon Prime. The screen has a 60 Hz refresh rate, which is great for casual viewing. Now we do have an LED display with quantum dot backlight technology, and I have to say, coming from OLED screens, I am kind of spoiled, but I was actually pretty surprised at how good the contrast ratio is on this TV, all things considered. So anytime you're watching kind of dark or, you know, low light scenes, it actually does a fairly good job at managing that without a significant backlight bleed. And while video looked great on here, you'll definitely get the best results using this in a shaded area or, you know, in an area with low light or indoors. You definitely can use this TV outdoors. It's built for it. You have that IP66 waterproof rating. So this is great for camping as well. But if the sun is out, you know, kind of peak sunlight hours, you are going to have glare or reflection due to the reflective coating on here. So it's best to put it kind of in a shaded area to get the best picture quality. If you have any bright lights in your room, this is what it'll look like if it's pointed towards the TV, and that's because the TV has a reflective coating instead of a matte coating. The TV has 178 degrees viewing angle, and it actually does really well. So you can see as I go off to the side, everything still looks pretty good. It's only when I start going, you know, all the way to the extremes where I encounter a little bit of glare and it gets darkened, but you know, no one's going to be sitting that far off to the side. So yeah, pretty good viewing angle on here. And you can see from this waterproof test that that IP66 rating is easily holding up, so you don't have to worry about washing this or hosing this down. So we'll go under Bluetooth, pair accessory. And this is called a Clever Bright, and I found it right here. All right, so I can confirm you can easily just add a Bluetooth speaker or Bluetooth headphones. Now that my Bluetooth speaker is paired to the TV, I'm just gonna play a clip so you can hear that the audio is coming through the speaker and not the TV. Since we have rear firing speakers on the back of the TV, I'm just gonna test out what the audio sounds like with the TV's built-in speakers. So you can hear that the sound does get pretty loud, but it's not as bold and rich sounding, you know, it's lacking a little bit of bass. So if you want better sound, you can go ahead and pair a Bluetooth speaker or, you know, your favorite pair of Bluetooth headphones. We can also use the remote for voice commands. So I'll go ahead, press and hold the microphone button here. Hey Google, what's the weather like today? Is it gonna snow?
Tonight in Brampton, there's a good chance of snow from now until around 9 p.m.
Please search for comedy shows. You can also cast your phone screen to the TV if you have a compatible phone. So on my S24 Ultra, I could tap on Smart View here, go to Dining Room TV, that's what I've called the TV, click on Start Now, and you could see it's replicated my phone's display on the TV. Now the quality is not exactly the same, you know, the resolution is going to be off, same with the PPI or pixels per inch. But let's go into something like YouTube, and I'll play this video here. Let's go into full screen, and you can see, you know, that's fairly fluid considering it's casting on there. Again, you know, my connection is pretty good, and this is what you can expect if you were to cast your phone screen. Of course, you could show, you know, your own photos, videos, emails, whatever you want on the big screen. I've turned Wi-Fi off on my phone, and I'm gonna go into mobile hotspot. And now it's on, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to connect to my phone's mobile hotspot instead of the Wi-Fi connection that it's currently on. So let's go into Wi-Fi, and I'll go to See All, and my mobile hotspot is called Passion Fruit. I'm just going to put in the password here. Alright, so it's connecting to my phone's hotspot. And again, to show Wi-Fi is not on, so the TV is connected successfully right now. And I can just, let's go back to the home screen here. I'll jump into YouTube. And there we go. So there's really no problem if you're, say, camping or something, or you're somewhere remote, but you have a phone signal, no access to Wi-Fi, so you're in a cottage or something, you could easily use your phone's hotspot to connect to the TV to watch your favorite shows. Battery life is rated for up to 6 hours on here thanks to that 10,000 milliamp hour battery. Of course, that's really going to be dependent on a ton of factors such as, how loud you play the volume on here and what you put the screen brightness to. So your results may vary. The TV comes with 4.3 gigs of total storage and I have 1.9 gigs of usable storage. But if I wanted to get extra space, I could just remove unused apps, or I could insert a USB drive and use it as expandable storage. You can also play video files or photos locally by inserting a USB drive. It does have to be formatted as FAT32, and I was able to play AVI files, MOV files, MKV, and MP4 files without any issues. So all in all, the Sylvox portable 15.6-inch waterproof Google TV is a fantastic TV, whether you want an additional TV just to use at home or to go camping, or if you're just constantly on the go. And if you're someone who's a bit clumsy, you drop things, or you have kids that, are a little bit clumsy or drop things as well, this TV will probably hold up. It feels really well built. You do have a tempered glass screen on here, and the built-in kickstand is really well friction. It's just an awesome TV to have. The only small downside is that there's no HDMI port, meaning you can't connect a laptop or a console to the monitor. But if most of the times you're using apps like YouTube, Netflix, Amazon Prime, or if you want to download other apps like Tubi or whatever else, this lets you do that, and you have a large screen, nice handy built-in kickstand, and you can also use your phone's mobile hotspot to get connectivity if you go camping or if you're somewhere remote, which is really handy. So if you're interested in picking up the Sylvox 15.6-inch portable waterproof Google TV, I'm going to leave links down below for you to check it out or to learn more. If you found this video helpful, please consider liking and subscribing. It truly does help me out as a growing channel. And don't forget to check out some of my other tech reviews. I review a bunch of different tech like headphones, earphones, laptops, monitors, keyboards. I'm sure you'll find something you like, and I hope to see you in the next video soon.